Hi.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are
Where
you?
you? I'm good. Where you calling from?
Maryland.
Maryland.
Mhm.
Okay, the land of Mary, the rebellious woman.
Yeah.
What's on your
It's
mind tonight?
well, not really too much, but I'm just in a place where I'm literally like just waiting, like not necessarily doing the 9 to 5 anymore or and I always would listen to you how you would say, it's time to take the kids out of school. So I literally finally did that. It was such a struggle. So I'm just like waiting now. And just having that freedom of being able to talk to my kids and let them know what's going on and getting them prepared, things like that.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know what's going on, so they really can't tell their children. So they just gonna run into a lot of stuff in the blind.
Right.
How the babies like being home instead of going to class?
Oh, they love it. They love it. My son is 11, my daughter's 6, but they are very in tuned and like they understand. Look, come say hi to Uncle Rod. They was like, Mom, are you gonna go live? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna request. Come say hi. Don't say hi.
Come say hi. Don't be shy. Hey, how you doing? Look at you. You so cute.
Oh, what do you say?
Yeah, she's kind of shy still.
Yeah. Look, my son just sitting here with his mouth open. Jay, say hi. Say hi.
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Yeah, so I've been explaining to them how, a lot of things are changing and things are shifting and they are really they're interested in it and they're in tune and they have their own, input and things like that. But I'm just like the more I look at things like it just seems like a never ending nightmare sometimes. I'm just like when is like why can't people just see how if we just all come together and like just think on one accord, like it feels like it would just push it forward, and it'll be like a bigger change. I don't know. Because I'm literally just sitting here just
So the last thing we looking to see is we looking for the people, IHE, to do a Sweetwater return ceremony. That means that they got the message, they understand the mission, and they take care of their part of the business.
mhm.
So they got a Corps Army engineers on standby to go and help clean up in the city of Port-au-Prince, where they got trash damn near waist deep. They're gonna come
Mm,
through with bulldozers and clean all that shit up.
mm.
But while they doing that, the people of the land, the natives, the organic people to the land, are going to be having festival gatherings and giving out care packages to everybody that come through there.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
then the people that's the leadership is going to have to structure it where we can get supplies out into the thickets too, because you got people that live back in the sticks. They don't fuck with the regular people in the city.
mhm, mhm. Did you ever figure out if they were having a celebration in Brazil or what was going on there?
I don't know. Okay, so that the way that the war conjure is working is looking like to me, everybody is flipping signs saying "Go Haiti, go Haiti,"
Mm.
because all of these ceremonies and these like sports events with all this yellow, that's because they giving the Oshun not the okay.
Oh, okay.
So when Haiti get the message, they do their ceremony and they turn this shit into Mardi Gras everywhere.
Oh, wow. Looking forward to that.
Me too. It's gonna be everywhere. That's why they was talking about the wall.
Mhm.
Because when the kings don't hit the land, you're not gonna be able to stop them people from crossing the border. They coming.
Right. Right.
It's now in our history when we have this happen before. they always try to stop the people from coming from the north to the south and coming from the south to the north. They always try to stop that. That's part of the process when you closing out the age,
Right.
right? So you pushing against the forces of nature, and then forces of nature push back harder. That move the energy in the direction it's supposed to go.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we know what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
We just gotta now do what we can to get the. I did a documentary to give a detailed description of what's going on energetically and what it has to do with Haiti around the world, because the Haitians sent soldiers to fight in the Gullah Wars that was riding that revolutionary energy.
Mm-hmm.
So when they had to close it out in Florida first, and now Haiti has to call the ocean Sweetwaters back, which calls back the people who opened the conjure to begin with state recognition. We know who they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get their honors once they do their ceremony down there to call Oshun, which is also calling them back to get their honors. That's what changes all of the energy.
Mm. Okay. So there's nothing in particular, like there's no like seconds, like there's no trick, nothing triggers it, or what? Or is the trigger with more people waking up to what's going on?
It's going to be the catalyst to the global awakening.
Okay.
See, Haiti is the ground zero for the global awakening,
Mm.
right? So once they pop, it's like a nuclear explosion. Everybody gonna start waking up.
I want to see that excitement. That's what I that's what I'm waiting
Yeah,
for.
because it's freedom finally comes
Yeah.
after a long drawn out process of suffering and oppression.
Yes. I can remember working and I remember writing in my journal. I was at work and I was writing in my journal. I felt this overwhelming feeling of like doom. Like I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. It was so heavy on me. I'm just like, this can't be it. Just working and paying bills. Like, this can't be it.
We supposed to be going to visit all the other tribal communities of the world. The women supposed to be getting trading cooking secrets and shit and all that kind of shit.
Mhm.
So whatever kind of different cultural things that they want, we supposed to chaperone women around the world to meet their sisters around the world.
Mhm.
They cut the global network off and divide and conquer,
Mhm.
right? So now we coming out to divide and conquer. We got to get back to the women feeling comfortable enough to be around the sisters so that they can identify the frauds. They see they've been so traumatized by the frauds that some women can't tolerate other women.
Right.
That's part of the conjure,
Right.
right? So to get past that, they have to learn to trust other women again. And after what they probably went through in a prior life, it's difficult.
Mhm.
So that's why the doula center serves so many purposes for the community. I was surprised that Earth allowed them to remove them and replace them with these hospitals. Because at the doula center, they help to do the women's group that use mitochondrial love energy to heal each other in a group.
Mhm.
Right? That's what the sister Hydea was doing with the goddess glow up. And that's why I always get that as a reference because she already doing it. And then you can go look at what she's doing and even see what it looked like.
Right.
And for the sisters really in tune, not only will they see it, they'll feel it.
Mm.
And they'll say that's what I need to do for my healing. And then they'll, either organize their own or participate in her next session.
Right. And that's what also helps with the healing or like trauma from past. Yeah.
Yeah. When you turn the mitochondrial up, it's like just like turning the healing on.
Mhm.
The placebo effect then gets multiplied by thousands when enough women is congregated in that energy.
Mhm.
That's part of the Sybil effect,
And it
you know.
only takes that one time, or is it something that happens over like in a pro as for process, or does it just take
Well,
like?
the women can turn it up in enough places on the planet where when you leave, the other women that's vibrating on that frequency help keep your energy up,
Okay.
right? And then the fact that they have on men, some of them women gonna love that shit.
Right.
They gonna love that shit. But when
Mhm.
you don't know how to use your feminine energy to positively affect a man, then you don't know what you're missing in your
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm. Yeah. So I have one question. Well, another question. My aunt would always tell me that I look just like her mom, and as a child growing up, I'd never understand. I would always hear her say it, but I never understood it. And then once, as I was an adult, she sent me a picture, and I literally look just like her. And
Was
I
she
just
gone before you was born?
no, no. But we weren't close to her though. Like it seemed it's a lot of unsettled things going on
Yeah,
on my mom's side. So
yeah. There's a lot of families like that. They gotta clean
mhm,
that shit up.
okay. And I
Everybody
felt
gonna have to. Yeah, they gonna have to face it sooner or later.
yeah. I feel like we're so close. I feel like I get these uploads or whatever, and one time like my entire crown chakra was just lit up one night, and I was getting all these messages, and it was from my mom because she passed away too, and it was from my grandma, and clear as day, like she was literally telling me, giving me information to tell other people. And then I feel like now that my aunt she wants to put together a family group, and it just seems very like small talk. And I want to be the one to just be like, okay, who needs to say something, get something off their chest? Because I just feel like it's just like, good morning, hey, how's it going? Just like small stuff. But I feel like there's like so much stuff that needs to just
But
be.
instead of people trying to get it off their chest, they talk about what if we heal from this.
Mm,
To put it in the quality or the probability of healing increases the possibility of the healing. So
mm-hmm.
instead of just dumping what's on your chest off your chest, say, let's see if we can heal from this. And this is the
Right.
thing I want us to, this, you confront generational curses.
Yeah, definitely.
Personality quirks are natural, but to stay in the long term divisive family feud, that's not natural.
Mm-hmm.
It's natural that you the same age as your cousin, and every time y'all trying to outdo each other when you get to Big Mama house, and then y'all try to make teams. That's natural.
Mm-hmm.
But to get in y'all 30s and y'all still trying to keep the teams up instead of joining forces, that's not natural.
Right.
Because the natural progression of life is supposed to teach you the value of family and the value of family unity and the strengths that come with it. So then the petty beefs, all of those fall to the side. The most
Mm-hmm.
traumatic ones for us going to be to heal from is that secret squirrel in the family sexual abuse.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hardest one to heal from. Because don't nobody want to admit their favorite uncle is a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
Or their favorite auntie, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them do it
Wow.
too.
Okay. Okay. So it must be something because since you brought that up, that has happened on my in my dad's side, but not it happened on my dad's side, and I feel like the person that did it, they tried to see where my head was at, and I'm like, oh no, this shit ain't going down. And to me, it's not even the fact of like, oh, I knew that you did it to other people, and now you did it to me. It's about like the fact that he still feels like he can do it. So I want to know, like, how I was trying to figure it out was like, okay, should I? I've already told his wife
Before
about
they
it.
destroyed the sisterhood, they used to have a gathering of mothers,
Mhm.
right? And to discuss how they would deal with it. And his age is always a key factor,
Mhm.
right? Because you expect a 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old to do something, but you don't expect the same behavior out of a 30-year-old,
Right.
right? So the mothers would use that as a gauge, the tool, and then they go over his history and his family history to find out how best to help him, or if we just need to get rid of him.
Mm. So
But
you're saying
normally,
that?
normally
Go ahead.
by the time he got in his mid teens, the women be to figured out what men to put him around to give him proper instructions about women and children.
What if he's not a part of the blood family? He's an outsider who just married into the family.
That
Is that?
it don't matter.
Oh,
It don't matter if he's still in the family. He around the same family kids.
right,
He still got to be dealt with. You
right.
can't keep that shit a secret,
Mhm,
right? This is why. Okay, so this is what's been going on in our community, and I've watched it in many different families while I was growing up, and I couldn't understand why they was doing it.
mhm,
But the adults that abuse the child, right? They don't say nothing to them, and then they shame the child into silence and tell them they can't tell the good man that the bad man did something to him.
mhm,
Right now, the justification was that if somebody corrected the bad man, then he gonna go to the other bad men, and they gonna come back and they gonna lock his ass up. So the women trying to keep the good man around end up protecting the bad man, but it keep hurting the children.
mhm,
It creates the cycles. Instead of fixing him when he young, my father said you been a willow when it's little, because when that motherfucker grown, it don't be in much,
mhm,
right? So you teach them the etiquette and the behavior of how to treat people and how to respect the youth because that's the future, and they
right.
won't abuse the children when they become adults. But when you covering that shit up because they was kissing on their little cousin, and you trying to cover it up for him and never correct him, he can't never get that behavior corrected when he's young enough,
Mhm,
right? So that shit got to stop. You can't. We ain't finna do that. We not finna do that secret squirrel shit
mhm,
because the children just keep getting hurt over and over again, and the bad man keep being in a position to do it because don't nobody want to tell the good man that the bad man doing bad things to the good kids.
mhm,
And now he's creating monsters out of the hurt people hurt people.
mhm.
The way that you hurt me, the way that I'm gonna hurt somebody else type shit.
Right.
So you got to know how to stop that shit. That was
And you're.
taught. That's Roman in origin. Their philosophy is the greatest love between a man and a boy.
Mm,
But it goes back to Babylonian sex magic and Talmudic priesthood sanctioning the abuse of Goyim children. That's where it traced back to its origin, where
right.
it became part of the religious institutions and the priesthoods. And that's why don't matter which religion you get in, all the priests is touching on kids
Mhm,
in every religion, right? Because that's what the root of the religion is. The
right.
Babylonian sacrificial rites or the
Mhm,
sacraments is what they call them.
mhm,
And the sacraments is the blood rites and the blood rituals. So when we had to go to a conjure war, it was because Big Mama said there was too much blood being spilt on the soil. And she said Mother Earth was crying. So she said, y'all figure out, make it into a spiritual war, take it off the earth.
mhm,
And that's how you get in the conjure war. So now we win the conjure war for the explicit purpose of cleaning the family trees up.
right.
So we start doing um, training at the doula center. They the ones who teach you the family um, um, arbitration, right? Because the family member need to correct the family first before you throw them to the state. The state is for the ones that can't nobody fix,
Right.
right? So that's why you have different levels of jurisdiction over the youth. Conjure war mean that you use spiritual rituals and practices in order to fight a war that would otherwise be fought with blood and guts.
Mm, mm. I'm so glad I decided to get on. Oh my gosh, that really put a whole different perspective on this. Well,
You see
I
that kind
appreciate
of
you.
shit? That's like that's anybody that do research on the missing children. This is the same data that they're gonna come to.
Hmm.
This the same. All this is the same data I came to.
Yeah. So, just to be clear, for that particular subject, as far as the violation of in the family, you're saying that it should, back in the day it was dealt with through the women, but now, what about now? Is it still, should it
The
still be dealt
women
with the
would
same
pass
way?
the guy over to the men if they needed the man to correct him.
Oh, okay.
Normally, when the women's correcting me because it's a child, when it's an adult, they normally say, "Okay, um, pass this over to this elder because if they give it to her daddy, he gonna overreact. But if you give it to her uncle, he gonna react accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
They know the nature of us and which one of us to assign to go correct that motherfucker.
Right. Okay.
Like they not gonna send me. I'm the last one they gonna send. When they send me, they already know what to expect, so they're not gonna send me.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
they'll send one of my brothers because they're gonna get a different approach to the problem.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
All right, sweetie, I'm gonna let you drop down and I'm gonna take another caller in, okay?
All right. Good night.
I'm not sure. Are you familiar with Mount Kenya?
In Kenya?
Yeah, the mountain they call Mount Zion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of affiliated with the ambassador of Mount Kenya. So I've been following him. Um, and it's funny because I got, I want to say put on, but I was on
He was
Facebook.
he was the one who gave us the report when they said they was about to send some motherfucking wham wham over to them about Black Panther, right? He
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like on the front of the reporting on that.
yeah,
The guy you talking about?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I know you're talking about. I was gonna make sure I'm on the same page with
Yeah, so it's funny. So back in, I probably got put on to you back in, I want to say about 2020. And it's kind of crazy because my dad had died in August. And you kind of look like him a little bit. You got kind of that
you.
same I gotta put it like the speech. Like y'all got that same type of voice. Like it's like kind of low, but it's very impactful. Like when you talk, like it ain't no playtime type situation. So I kind of gravitated towards that. And then just the stuff you were speaking on, it was kind of related to the things I was going through, should I say? Um, so like my dad died probably a week before his birthday, because his birthday was August 18th, and
My
I actually
father,
went.
August 21st.
Yours August 21st.
My father.
Your file, see. So I actually went to Kenya that year to go to the mountain uh, of August 2020, and there was a
That's
lot
the
of
real holy mountain. The fake holy mountain is in the Middle East,
right,
and they call that one Mount Zion too.
right.
But it's the mountain from the imposters.
But that's the one in Israel. You saying that's the imposters?
That's where the imposters came in. The Mount Kenya is the real holy mountain. Them motherfuckers up there got the real keys to the motherfucking conjure.
Right,
They can manipulate the energy faster than most of these machines. You up there dealing with the real masters. That's where the Egyptian priesthood studied with them.
right. Yep. So that's basically what I've been doing, just trying to help spread the message, uh, spread your message. Free Larry Hoover. Um, free all the chiefs of the land. Uh, and I've been on the same type time everybody else. That's that understand what's going on, trying to get the information together. I've been trying to work on getting my genealogy together because I got people in my family that spoke on one of my great great grandmoms. She spoke on how we had native lineage, but it's kind of cut off. Just trying to get back and talking to certain people because everybody, either they lost the information or they they're not privy to it. So it's like I'm kind of doing this on my own, but I feel like I was put in this position to do that because a lot of things that I was exposed to that was like, hey, if I don't do it, ain't nobody else gonna do
So
it.
a lot of the royal families, that's us, the Masonic lodges got people that's following us.
Right.
Their job literally is to mark when one of us is born, where we born at, what time we was born, was our parents, where was they born, and then they mapping the stars to know which one of us is ranked. They know who he is.
Yeah.
When they
'Cause I
get
was
everything back, they just gonna call everybody back to where they belong
okay.
to receive their shit. They gonna be invited to their tribal family reunion.
Yeah, cause I'm actually born April 11th, so I'm the Aries.
Mm-hmm.
And even speaking on that, I actually went to go see some seers out there when I was out there. Um, there was like in a little compound, and and they was talking, but I had somebody I was with that could actually translate because he still spoke English, but he knew the language. And basically, he was telling me that I had to do a certain situation as far as ritual wise, um, so I could get my blessing. But he was saying that I was sent to do something to help uh the people over here because I guess I'm supposed to be like somebody of stature or something, but it was just like a brief type of explanation because I had to.
Yeah, it was vague because you have to figure out what go in the middle.
Right.
You got to color the picture in. They give you the outline, and you got to fill in the blanks.
Right.
Right. So, what you was doing is going through initiations. When they tell you to do a ritual, you got energy centers in the body. The relative that sent you to them
Hmm.
sent you with energy, and when they give you the ritual, it unlocks the energy. Because the energy move according to certain energy dynamics,
Right.
right? So the sound waves move one way, and the light waves move another way. But then you have what's called emotive waves, which is derived from the advent of intention, right? So it's like a grid that the elders know how to access. You might have been 5 lifetimes ago, a priest in South America might have put the energy signature there. So you come back 5 lifetimes later, you end up over in Kenya. He recognized the energy signature and give you the ritual to unlock what was put in you 5 lifetimes ago to allow you to awaken at this time. That's
Mm.
how it works.
Yeah, I feel
It's
like
like passing the baton. And that's why they say certain people got certain keys. The keys is the secret to unlock certain energy signatures in the family line. When you hear me talking about Big Mama
yeah.
and you hear me talking about the family, because that's us. We know who we're talking to, and we know who's talking to us when
Right.
they start talking about the family and Big Mama,
Right.
right? And ain't nobody taking my sibling shit because my mama said so.
Yep.
I'm mama's boy. They already know in our culture what all of that means subconsciously. So when I talk it out loud, they know that I know who the fuck they is, them my people. And that's why I say his sheep will recognize his voice. Because I'm gonna talk to the soul of the person. I'm not gonna talk to the people.
Right.
So then you tell the truth, it resonate at the level of the soul. Because the truth that's rooted in love vibrate on the frequency that's synonymous with the souls of righteousness. That's how we access one another through what's called a mystical communication, according to Buju Banton,
Mm.
Hills and Valleys, right? So Garvey said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy. None of that can stop the time, right? Because the manifestation delay gives us an opportunity to develop a plan to counteract anything they're trying to do before it can manifest. That's in the plane of thought, where the masterminds play the game. So then we come out in the public domain and start spitting master lingo, and the people know that motherfucker knows something right there. Let me go see what the fuck he know. He not trying to butter that shit up for nobody, just telling it like it is, and he right with the receipts and shit. This nigga got to be one of us.
Yeah.
Cause they say if you want to keep something from a nigga, put it in the book. So he ain't no nigga, cause that nigga read a lot of books, right?
Yep.
So if he ain't no nigga, who the fuck is he? He kind of red, kind of ruddy, like the Mississippi clay dirt. He got to be from over here. That got
Facts.
to be one of Big Mama boys. Because that motherfucker ain't gonna leave no stone unturned till the people understand that the imposters on the land has been exposed for the frauds they are and served with the eviction as soon as we become aware that we the tribes that they trying to take the shit from, and we ain't come on no goddamn slave ship, and we didn't come in no motherfucking fezzes. We organic to the land. We came up wearing motherfucking moccasins and goddamn feathers,
Facts.
right? So when our people hear that, they know that shit just sound right. Why? Because you live lifetimes that way.
Mm.
Start telling the people the culture. Remember when Big Mama used to have a fried chicken on the countertop with the motherfucking cornbread squares in the bowl next to it for the
Mm-hmm.
visitors to come, and she was always cooking all day long. We ain't never even realized it at the time. We was too busy living it. But when you call it back from the distant memories, it begin to make the people say, hold up. I don't care what them niggas say. This nigga telling us who he is.
Right.
He know us on the level that can't nobody else talk to us on. We need to go find out what this nigga talking about. I might not understand it,
Right.
but we need to find out what this nigga talking about. My uncle a little smarter than me. Let me run it past him. My grandma, she the elder in the family. Let me go run it past her.
Yep.
If they get the same frequency of emotions that I get, this nigga got to be on to something.
Yeah.
If you know the souls of your people, you can tell. Even the ones that look like us, them motherfuckers ain't us.
Right.
And I got the same amount of sympathy for them that they have for my people.
Yep.
I got less. I got negative sympathy. Zero give a fuck. My give a fuck meters don't have no juice when them motherfuckers is on the motherfucking chopping block. None. Right? The shit they got our people doing to each other. Yeah, man, if I was you, I wouldn't let that nigga talk to me that way. You ought to blow that nigga brains out. What happened to man? Go scrap it out with him.
Right.
This nigga wants you to blow his brains out, man. And then when the shit go down, he ain't nowhere to be found. And you locked up.
Yep.
Like
Shit,
you don't know who they are.
that's a big problem right here now in Philly. Like we almost, if I ain't mistaken, we probably number one murder capital now over Chicago.
And that's because some nigga putting another nigga up to kill another nigga.
Yeah.
See, they ain't allowed to kill us, but they can make us kill us. That's the trick. That's how they get away with it. They not allowed to outright kill us, so they make us kill us. You think that that white cop shot that black guy? You mean that mulatto shot that Negro?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You got to see the game that they playing is right in our face. But because the way they was playing the game, they always kept us blind because they look like us, but the motherfuckers ain't us.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's not personal. And I don't got no animosity, but I ain't got no motherfucking reverence either. I'm telling you, I could if them motherfuckers was running down the street, gasoline draws on fire, nigga, I wouldn't even acknowledge that shit. Keep running, nigga. Many of my brothers is you tarred and feathered because you knew they was about to dig in your motherfucking ass when they came to a point of self-realization. Strange motherfucking fruit,
Thanks.
you know? So when I talk to lingo, it's to talk to the souls of the people that went through the trauma. Fuck that trauma. Get that shit back to their ass. Tell them to go. Band together. Right makes motherfucking might. If you stand in the position of right, just tell the goddamn truth. And
Facts.
don't take no for a motherfucking answer when you're trying to get it out. That's it. Each one teach one. We all gonna reach some.
That's all we can do. That's all I've been trying to do. Plant the seed. And who gonna gravitate to it? Gonna gravitate. If you got a question, I'm gonna do my best to answer it. If I ain't got the answer, I can, with the resources that I got it from, I can, push you to that and let you do your own research because you can't make nobody think how you think. You can only just, like I said, plant the seed and give them that driving force to open their mind and not, be stagnant and their own complacent. Um, but I did have another question. As far as the dreams, I know you were speaking on dreams. I know my dreams, they be very vivid. Like I was talking to somebody the other day. I had a dream that the waters were sweeping over the whole nation. It's probably I want to say a couple days ago maybe. It was just like it was like I was above it, and I think I was like looking down at the world. There was just like a big tidal wave just sweeping over all the different nations of the world.
Okay, so in the dream, water means spirit.
Mm,
When you awake, water is a relay for messages to be enhanced from spirit, right?
right.
Here's a little bit of water bending magic for you. You got a question. You don't want to ask nobody, but you want the truth.
Mm,
Being aware of the fact that you're not allowed to lie to yourself, it goes against galactic principles of self awareness. If you lie to yourself and think you're deceiving yourself, that's the highest form of self deception,
mm,
right? And you're not allowed to deceive yourself because you know the dirt you did when you did the dirt, or you know the good you did when you did the good. You don't have to keep a recording record. Do what come natural to you, and you're gonna do what's right if you got right in your heart, right?
right.
So when we start damn, I think I sidetracked. I had a brain fart. Yeah, but when we link together, we form a better focus, right? When you see water in a dream, it's the symbol for spirit. When you see the water sweeping over the earth, it's the new spirit. It's the return of Oshun using the symbolic language of the Voodoo, right? It's the great Holy Spirit return if you're talking from a Christian view,
Mm,
right? The Christ consciousness if you're talking Christian metaphysics, right? If you're talking ancient Kemetic, it's the primordial noon manifests as the netter, the seven earth spirits, right? And so when you see it in a dream, it means that the spirit is the change of the energy. A spiritual energy significance is a deluge. It's a new spiritual awareness level. It's the great flood, the deluge. Caught now you floating in the primordial liquid, caught up in the rapture. But it's a love frequency that got you suspended in eternal bliss.
mm.
And then you reestablish heaven on earth because everything that everybody touched begins to turn to gold once again. And we can start healing the earth. And that's why we got call the Oshun energies back. And it start with Haiti as the epicenter.
And it's funny. I've been to Haiti probably when I was like I want to say like 11, 12,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like it was crazy because like they was all coming up to me. You know how they be trying to sell the souvenirs and everything. And I never understood like, damn, this is a beautiful island, but everybody seemed like they poor. But I didn't, back then I was young, so I didn't know no better. Until I got older, I'm like, is they the fucked us over? With the Clinton administration. And then we going back and then we talking about the whole cadre and everything. So now everything just started to make sense.
Yeah, because once
Looking back.
once you point certain stuff out, the people start to remember shit
Yeah,
that connects to what you said, something their grandmama said, something their great auntie said, something their great uncle said, something the old lady down the street said. All that shit start connecting dots, and they be sitting there like, oh hell yeah, right? When we don't have it figured out, we try to ignore the problem until we figure it out.
yeah,
If we see that the problem has a viable solution, that's when we start to focus in on solving it. Most of us are not the ones required to initiate the resolution to a problem. That's why they ignore it. They turn the other way. They don't want to see it because that part is above their pay grade.
mm,
You got another group of us job to come in and see everything that everybody else don't look at just by the way we wired, right? Which makes us ask a whole different set of questions that get a whole different set of answer that the traditionalist that's turning away from the information because the solution is not present,
mm,
right? Once they see that you come with the solution to the problem, now they're willing to address the problem because there's a solution now. Now they feel like it's more controllable and more within their power to do something about it. And that's what you call empowering others to do for themselves exactly what you do for yourself.
right.
If I break free, I want to break everybody fucking free. What's the fuck fun is it to be free by myself?
Yeah, I still live by. I was always taught treat others how you want to be treated. So I feel like what I feel is best for me, I'm gonna do what's best for you because I see you and me, or me and you, should I say? So I'm gonna try to always do best and not try to, like you said, be righteous and not try to get over on people, and just know that ain't nothing going good that's gonna come back on it, on that energy, and so it's like it's just best to, like I said, live by that mantra. Treat others how you want to be treated, and that's just something I stand on. But
Yeah.
I just got two more. So what's your take on people that's born with holes in the ear? Or what's your understanding of it?
It's tied to a bloodline and it's tied to psychic abilities.
Okay, yeah, because I was actually born with one. That's why I was asking. And I was
Some of them just have a mole, and some of them have a hole right here.
yeah, I got
Some
to
of
see it, but
yep,
I was reading like a couple of Dr. Malachi York books, and he was speaking on people, with the holes in
yeah,
the
yes, tribal. It's just identifying you to a specific bloodline,
ear.
a very old bloodline at that. Everybody don't got that.
Yeah. I remember I was doing a lift one time with this lady, and I was picking her up. We was having a good conversation. And you could tell she was a spiritual woman. She do holistic healing, raw vegan food and everything. She was like, "Oh yeah, you special. It's something about your energy." She's like, you might have been born with a veil on over you when you was born." So I know she was like trying to, you know, just
Yeah,
because it was a
normally it's a girl that's born with the veil. They're seers,
mm,
oracles, right? But they have to they have to train their talent, or it'll just fade to the level of an instinct,
right.
an intuition, right? But if they train it, they can be highly psychic. They can train it to whatever psychic ability they have. If they start training and um, developing the psychic abilities through reading the oracles, they that's how they activate it and turn it on. That's why you have like the runes, tarot cards,
Yeah.
she shells, the I Ching. Those are oracles. Oracles is designed, the crystal ball, the black mirror. They designed to open up your psychic talents. So it's like if you want to be a weightlifter, you got to lift weights for practice. Those are the tools. Those are the weights for your psychic training.
Mm. Now, my last question was do you know any advice on how to help uh like somebody with like an alcohol addiction?
You need a real, genuine Babalawo, and I will be able to tell you what to ask you. But you got to find a legitimate medicine man.
Okay. I
You can
remember you.
find a native medicine man, or you can find one of the old Puerto Rican or Hispanic medicine men that make the herbs for the natives.
Hmm.
Yeah, any one of them can oversee it. If you know a priest that do the peyote ceremonies, he can
Yeah.
oversee it. But for the alcohol addiction, it's a primarily the alcohol depletes the nutrition.
Right.
Start supplementing the nutrition, and then the alcohol will begin to make them nauseous. They won't be able to drink alcoholically.
Mm.
But you got to get the nutrition up enough to reject the alcohol.
Okay.
The low nutrition causes a condition called pica, which gives you intensifies the craving. It just so happened if alcohol is what you focus the craving's attention, that's what makes you alcoholic,
Hmm.
right? So you got to get the nutrition up. Then you got to flush the liver because the alcohol is causing the fatty liver at best.
Right.
It could get as bad as psoriasis. So they got to be drinking dandelion tea just to treat the liver, because when the liver starts to slow down and fail, they gonna tell them they got high blood pressure, put them on high blood pressure pills, and tell them not to drink, and they still gonna drink.
Right.
Right? That's not treating the problem. If you start cleaning the liver and supplementing with just the basic vitamin nutrition,
Hmm.
so you would use some of the superfoods. So you go to like the vitamin, not GNC, something like the vitamin shop,
Yeah.
and um th- ask them for the superfoods. These are the ones that's most densely packed with nutrition,
Okay.
right? And then you have them taking them several times a day just to get their nutrition to kill the craving for the alcohol,
Okay.
right? Because the more they drinking without proper nutrition, the more they increase the craving, and the only thing that's going to give them relief is the alcohol, because that's what's leaching the nutrients out of their system.
Gotcha. Yeah, 'cause I remember you had a lady on. She was in, I think, like Mexico. She had like a center in Mexico, if I'm mistaken. I don't remember her
It,
name.
it's been a lot of healers. You might be talking about Dr. Hulda Clark.
Yeah, I don't
She
remember. I
was
don't
a
remember her name.
microbiologist, she was doing all of the shit Sadie was doing. Her go-to is black walnut for parasitic cleanse of the body.
Okay.
She always start all her patients with that.
All right. But yeah, but like I said, I definitely appreciate it as always. Always gonna be checking in, getting the updates. Um, and for everybody out there, even keep a outlook on this painting. I'm gonna actually drop a whole like kind of memorial documentary type of situation for the painting for Nipsey. So the whole situation will be called Victory Lap because that's what we on right now. We on this Victory Lap marathon to wrap all this up. So like you said, we could be partying, having Mardi Gras up and up, all up and down this bitch.
That's what happened when we crossed the finish line.
Yep. So
Victory celebration. It looked like Mardi Gras all across the land.
yeah, man. So it's using my talents to try to help, spread the message too. So that's at this time, that's what it's all about. Just getting everybody on all on the one accord.
Yeah. All right, God, it was good talking to you. I appreciate you stopping through.
I always talk
All
to you.
right, much love to Philly.
Same back to you. This